Millionaires Are Made, the show where we believe you can be a millionaire in all 6 aspects of health. That's right, it's not just about your bank account, but we share tips every week to improve your physical health, your mental health, your social health, spiritual health, intellectual health, and yes, of course, your financial health is included. And today's episode, we are focusing on financial health and the topic of travel. How can travel improve your financial health? Very interesting. If you've never seen Millionaires Are Made, this is the show built on the fundamental belief that every person you meet knows something you don't, and there's something to be learned from everyone in this big, beautiful world, in the spirit of authenticity and to remove as much bias as possible. We don't talk about tips or advice before the show starts. So everything you hear from these 3 awesome, smart humans is going to come straight from them and their life journey, and we keep it as real as possible. Audience, this is an interactive show. We want you to ask questions and comment, and we will put them live on air and put our guests in the hot seat. So please, if you have any questions about travel and financial health, ask them, and we will answer them out loud. Guests, if you want to be a guest on our show because you think you might have something to share, scratch that. I know you have something you can share. Please, that link's being dropped right now. Sign up below. We'd love to have you as a guest. We'd love to have you on our show and share a little piece of advice. And if you are watching this and maybe something just ain't going right in your life, you got a little lost, maybe your purpose isn't there, your spiritual health's a little low, maybe you're broke, maybe you have no friends, maybe you just went through a breakup, whatever it is, however, shoot us a message, shoot us a topic. We will go out and find 3 awesome guests and build an entire show around that topic to help you get over your hump in life and back to the growing human you should be. If you like what we do and you love sharing knowledge so everybody in this world can grow, please prove it. Share, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, whatever it is on the social that you're watching. And if you love all of our stuff and free growth info, please, I do offer free coaching as well, free growth sessions, one-on-one. You can talk to me. That link's being dropped right now. Come check it out, say hi, and I would love to talk to you one-on-one. Woo, that was fun. Now we got some awesome paid sponsors. We are sponsored by 4 amazing humans. Our first one is also a guest on the show, Sarah Jones. Buried in debt. In a marriage that was failing and making more money than ever before, Sarah knew there had to be a better way. Boom, exactly why Millionaires Are Made. It isn't just about financial health, because being rich doesn't necessarily mean you're happy. Following one of the big name programs for getting out of debt resulted in more shame, more debt, and living a life that felt awful. So Sarah set out to find a way through the money mess to restore her marriage and use the money they were making to work for them, not against them. Now, Sarah is a financial coach helping people build healthy financial foundations so they can live the life they deserve. She's also a repeat guest on this show because she knows that we love teaching and growing, and it's not all about the money. She works with couples, individuals, and small businesses to bring fun back to the money game. Sarah offers a free call, woo, love that, to help you learn where you to start on your new money journey. Her link is being dropped right now. Go say hi to Sarah. She's awesome. Go take advantage of that free call, or at least go follow her on her socials and learn a little bit more about it. Next sponsor we've got is Craig Zakowski. Craig is a human behaviorist and a mentor. He's awesome, and he likes to help entrepreneurs discover their true identity. Again, all these people have made money. It's not all about just being rich. You got to find your identity, your purpose, achieve growth in business and life, and Craig will help you do that. Our next sponsor is Dr. Nick Sotelo. He's a licensed professional, also obviously has his PhD, and he focuses on men and anger issues, managing your anger issues with expert coaching. If you might get a little more mad than you feel you should, go check out Dr. Nick Sotelo. And our last sponsor for this episode is Veronica Herrera. Veronica is a life coach and host of Thrive, Don't Just Survive podcast. Awesome podcast on how to help grow, similar to the one you're currently watching. She empowers others with emotional regulation tools to transform challenges into a thriving success. Go like, follow, and check all that. She is amazing. Whew. And without further ado, financial health travel. Man, Oh man, there's so many tips. I love traveling. I've been all over this world. It's a beautiful place. It's how the show got started. Traveling the world and wondering why information was not transferred from culture to culture. Things I thought everyone knew that were not known over here. And so now we're going to talk about how to do it to improve your health. Well, I don't want to get in it. We'll talk more later. Let's bring out our first guest here, Sarah Jones. Sarah, who are you?
Hey, hey. So I am a completely different person now than I was 3 years ago. And that has largely in part to do with traveling. So my husband and I are full time RVers. We've been on the road just over 3 years now. And similar to what you just mentioned, Austin, um, I have discovered a lot about myself, but a lot about, different cultures on this travel journey. And so I love helping people even more with their money and traveling and learning, kind of some deep rooted things that they didn't know they had, right? Helping them uncover them. So
Question: have you just been traveling in the US or do you meander over to Canada or Mexico as well?
just the US.
Okay. All right. All right, Sarah. If I wanted to improve my financial health with travel, what piece of advice would you give me?
Yeah. So know what you want from the trip so you can plan your budget.
Know what you want to plan your budget. Tell me more.
Yeah. So I, when working with a lot of people, what I see is they plan, these vacations, these big elaborate vacations. They think, quote unquote, think they're going to spend X amount of dollars. They come home and they've spent far more. And what happens is that they don't know why they want the trip. They don't, so they spend all their money on all these, admissions into things, all the money on all the food, all the souvenirs, all the things, and they get back and they still don't feel super fulfilled. They might have made some good memories, don't get me wrong, but they still don't feel super fulfilled with the trip. And then it brings up these feelings of, oh, I put it on a credit card, I owe all this money. Now what? Right? And I find that when I help people to discover and to take the time to learn what it is that they want from the trip, they actually get the experiences from it that they're truly looking for. They leave feeling fulfilled and really with a lot of really great memories, and none of the regret that happens. So,
Very interesting. All right. Plan ahead of time for your budget. Where on your life journey did you learn this tip?
I learned it years ago, but I think it was a progression over when we used to travel when the kids were little. We used to just take one vacation a year. That's all that we could afford. But I found myself saying no to a lot of things because I was so worried about the money part. And then as we
Yeah.
traveled, more and more, I had to really look at what's the purpose of this? What do we want to accomplish? What do I want the kids to get out of this trip? Right? How can we really make it enjoyable and not have to worry about the money piece so much? And so it just, kind of progressed year after year. And I really see that now as being a financial coach and a full time traveler.
I love it. All right, Sarah, we're going to move on to our next guest here. His name is Chad. Chad. Chad, who are you? I think you're muted, Chad.
Are you sure? I am a husband, a father, a lover of life, and most importantly, a lover of other people. I love to see people find joy and happiness in all that they do and live their life to the best of their ability by just practicing simple practices and principles that make their life better.
Well, I love it. Simplicity is key. Let's see how simple this answer is, Chad. If I wanted to improve my financial health with travel, what piece of advice would you give me?
Everything is an opportunity. Everywhere that you go, life is an opportunity. And to go a little bit further on that, like the opportunity to go and experience a new place isn't done by going and visiting the tourist attraction. It's about actually connecting with the people in that location. Eat what they eat,
That's
go
so
where
true.
they go to eat, enjoy what they enjoy on a daily, because what you're doing is you're experiencing a new culture. And when you experience that new culture, you can connect with the people in that region, and it will often actually help you form connections with people that will help to advance your financial future as you begin to expand your business and your networking in that area. I found so many opportunities where a waitress has become an affiliate, a client was somebody at the gas station. It's amazing if you're just willing to open up and share about what it is that you do, how many people have an interest in learning more about you. So when you go to a new place, don't just think about taking up their culture, but bringing the culture of your life and sharing it with them.
That is so, dude, it's so crazy how the world works. I literally just went live yesterday about our core value: leave a profit, give more than you take. And that's exactly what you just said. Go there,
Yeah.
meet, give, and eventually you might get some profit out of there too. Take a client and whatnot. Chad, where in your life journey did you learn this advice?
When my wife and I first got married, I figured all of my travel days were over. Instead, within 6 months after marriage, we gave away everything that we owned and we hopped on bicycles and started to travel. And we traveled all throughout the US. And through that time, it was always about just where can I serve? Where can I help people? And the more we opened up and the more that we talked, the more and more we saw opportunities literally coming to us like a magnet because our heart was of service. So opportunities to serve other people came. And sometimes that was just taking care of their problem that they had. Sometimes it was they needed somebody to do some work. Sometimes they knew somebody who needed some labor and we were able to step into those roles. So it really got us attuned and kind of dialed in on our internal radio, if you would, to pay attention to the people around us more than paying attention to ourselves. And when our focus was outward, we found that the world was focused inward towards us.
Very cool. I love it. Awesome, Chad. Well, thank you so much. We'll bring you back out for the round robin. We're going to move on to our next guest. Hey, Misty, who are you?
Hey, Austin. Good to be here with you today. I am a self made millionaire that just wants to encourage, support, and inspire people to live intentionally. I have a heartfelt mission to be a female version of Mr. Rogers because I believe the world needs more love.
Ah, the old Mrs. Rogers. All right, all right. Misty, if I wanted
Yeah.
to improve my financial health with travel, what piece of advice would you give me?
Well, mine's going to be a little bit of a mix of both Sarah and Chad. I believe that when you are intentionally purposeful in planning a vacation and you include that to decompress and rest and not be busy, you accomplish what you really want to do, which is to enjoy seeing new sights while you get a break from your everyday life. So, making a list, what that would look like would be making a list of all the places you want to travel to in your life and prioritizing going to one that's of a top priority to you because you may not be here in a year or two from now. So, what one would you want to experience this Christmas season or in the spring over spring break or whenever your next travel is? And consider looking at being intentional to um, whether you want one big trip or you want a couple little trips throughout the year. Differentiate your planning and don't fill it completely full. Go on a vacation and have downtime to just drive somewhere instead of fly. Um, Experience the culture as Chad was talking about, go for hikes, enjoy the outdoors. Don't just go to amusement parks and entertainment places. Like, do things that actually connect you to the people you're traveling with and that you get to really experience the world instead of just moving from one city to another city and you really didn't experience life outside of busy. Decompress, have time to relax so you don't get back and need a vacation from your vacation.
Oh, oh yeah, something like that. Misty, where on your life journey did you learn this advice?
Well, growing up with my family, we did a lot of traveling to see other people. It was a time we connected with family or church events, Christian camp retreats, camping expeditions, and they were always busy and full. And though they were fun, I came back usually sick with a sinus infection or really tired. And so this was something I learned through being an entrepreneur. that you really have to plan and relax and rest and recharge while enjoying nature and time with people. And that if you fill your schedule completely, you're going to come back drained. So it was through personal experience and trying to navigate how exhausted I felt when I came back from vacation and ended up back in the work rat race routine and being frustrated with that. And my first real journey of this was in 2022. I took 60 days and did a sabbatical journey across the United States in my Corvette and stayed in 11 Airbnbs along the coast of California and did nothing entertainment wise outside of enjoying the ocean, the mountains, the good food, like really just lived life and created memories and experiences. And I'm grateful I did, because January 2023, somebody pulled out in front of me and I T-boned them and totaled my Corvette. So the car that I'd had for 5 years, it was my dream car. If I hadn't done that the year before, I wouldn't have any of those memories. And so encouraging people to really live intentionally and create the life that you want. You can do it on a small budget. It does not have to be extravagant, but prioritize and be intentional. Like Sarah said, know what you want. And like Chad said, embrace the culture and connect with the people. And you're going to spread love not only into your own soul from them pouring into you, but you into them as you engage with them in their environment.
Awesome. I love it, Misty. Thank you so much. We will bring you back out for the round robin here in just a sec. First, a couple of tips for me. I absolutely love travel. I've been to roughly 60-ish countries at this point. I travel every month, try to go somewhere new, going to St. Martin in like a week. I will probably be filming there. But travel, finance, let's go over this. So first, biggest reason, if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, when you travel, you learn so much about how other things are done. I know dozens of people that have gone to other countries, seen a concept and come and made it in America and made it big. I've done it actually as well. A couple companies I've learned, you see the ideas there and you bring it over. It can financially make your day. 2, imports and exports. One time, this is about 10 years ago, went down to Brazil with a bunch of Samsungs and iPhones and sold a bunch of them down there because they were very hard to get. And I researched beforehand, so I paid for my entire trip to go see the World Cup off of cell phones that I bought in the US. That was really fun and easy. 3, finance, travel cheap. I still love and still promote staying in hostels. They're completely safe. I've never had an issue in a hostel. They may not be the comfiest of accommodations, but to go from $150 a night down to like $40 a night, that's $100 that you can save, that you can use on airfare to see more, do more, travel more per day. And to me, it's way insane to, on a 7-day trip, to spend $700 just to be a little more comfortable while your head is resting. I don't give a shit about that. Last thing. Oh, this is going to be the one that's going to kill everyone. Do not fucking plan ahead. I live in one of the number one cruise ship destinations in the world, and these cruisers pay like 5 times the price of what it costs to do any activities on this island. If they got off this cruise and they walked right about there, they would see a line of people that live here that offer the same exact tours and services at like a fourth of the cost instead of buying it from the cruise ship. It's wild. They sell hiking tours for like $150, and if I wanted to go do it right now, it would cost me like $30. It's insane. So the way to do it is you go, you meet people that either have traveled there for a couple days or live there, and ask them how to do it. If you do choose the hostel route, which I still support, you can book even private rooms within a hostel. But that community area is all travelers that want to do things and have the best experiences possible. And they want to do it as cheap as possible because usually it's younger students or whatever, people traveling the world on a low budget. So it's the best type of people to find. They're the people that want the best value for their bang and they want the best memories. Those are the people that have been there for 3 or 4 days. And you're like, all right, you've been here 3 or 4 days. What are the top 3 things I got to go do? You go do it. They teach you the cheapest ins and outs on how to do that city. It's amazing. So I actually recommend, I do not plan anything. I'm going to St. Martin next week. I haven't even planned where I stay. I will figure that all out like the day of. I can find a last minute Airbnb. I can find a last minute hotel deal with Hotel Tonight or any of those other Expedia, any of those apps. I can find just about everything the day of and get it a lot cheaper. That's my travel tips. Let's bring everyone out for the round robin. Sarah, Chad, and Misty. Whoo! All right, what's up, guys? Sarah, can you quickly refresh what your tip was for us?
Yeah, trip so you can plan your budget accordingly.
Chad, what are your thoughts on Sarah's tip? I think you're muted again, Chad.
Keeps doing it. I definitely agree. If you're not going to budget for it, then you're going to go beyond your budget. You're going to come back stressed and overwhelmed. So having a budget and knowing what you can spend gives you an opportunity of what things you can actually go and experience.
Love it. Misty, what are your thoughts on Sarah's tip?
I'm very much a fan of intentional living, and I believe when you actually know what it is you want from life, you create it. We a lot of times don't end up with the happiness and joy and experiences that we really desire because we aren't intentional. And so make a list of all the places you want to see and go do them and be intentional to enjoy that trip. Knowing what you want out of it. Do you want a bunch of souvenirs? Do you want to see every popular spot in the city? Do you want to have a picture at the entrance of the national park and at the exit? Like all these little things matter. Like just, you don't have to plan it down to the minute, but have an idea of what it's going to cost you in fuel, in food, in any other kind of fees, whether you have a national parks pass or whether you are going for the whole day to the museum or just seeing a show. There's just various ways that you can plan your money, but the more that you plan it, you will come back and you will not have regrets and then be trying to dig yourself out with the shame of how you lived your vacation and the frustration of the financial burden.
I love it. Chad, can you quickly refresh what your tip was?
Everything is an opportunity. So always look for opportunities to add value. And the law of reciprocity always pours value back into your life.
Misty, what are your thoughts on Chad's tip?
Well, I think that we all are blessed when we really put ourselves in the shoes of someone else. So when you get to travel and experience the city, both in what it looks like and what the environment and how the culture is, what kind of food, see a sunrise there, a sunset there, like really embody the place and not just go quote unquote check a box and visit it, but like really experience it and put yourself in as one of those people, you come away back feeling way more fulfilled. So I love Chad's idea.
And stop staying on resorts. Did I say that out loud? Sarah, what are your thoughts on Chad's tip?
I love it. And especially being a full-time traveler, it's really important for us we want to continue living this lifestyle. So we have to be really mindful of the money that we're spending, right? And the way that we do that is very much what Chad is talking about. Going around talking to the locals, looking at the places, on a Wednesday afternoon, where are the people at, right? And you really do learn a lot about not only the culture and the areas, and it's not always about saving money. I'm kind of sick of hearing that term because that puts us in scarcity. It's not always about saving money, but it's really about spending in the areas that really bring you value. And so when you take the time to look for those opportunities with the locals, I think you're going to get far more than what you had originally anticipated from it.
Example, I was in the Bahamas on a cruise like 3 weeks ago. I remember talking to other people on the cruise. They're like, we're going to go to the pig beach and swim with pigs. It was $250. I was like, oh. They're like, and I was like, I'm going to go there too. They're like, do you have your tickets? What tour did you book? I was like, none. When I get off this boat, I'm going to walk 3 blocks away and I'm going to find the locals. I'm going to pay way less. And sure enough, we walked 3 blocks away. We paid like $120, saw the pigs at the beach, got unlimited jet skis, got a banana boat, got food, got drinks. And I think that might be all. And when we got back on the cruise, everyone didn't believe us. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. It's just how it works. We went over there and just talked to him. I started negotiating, but my friend that was with me, she was like, I don't want to waste any time. Just pay whatever the first guy says. We're already saving $100. I was like, all right, fine. So we just took it and went. All right, we have questions from the audience. We got to get going on. There's a few of them. All right, guys, how do you create a travel budget that aligns with your financial goals? Thank you, Shutterbuggen.
I would love to answer this because this is exactly what I do when I'm helping people put together their money plans, right? There's so many pieces to this that you really have to look at what are the priorities in your life. right? And I always talk about eliminating the things that are distracting you from what you really want. And so if you want to increase your travel, you want to travel more, travel is an important piece, then go through where you're already spending money and eliminate those expenses that are distracting you from that. A lot of times this can be, eating out. A lot of times this can be from a lot of the subscriptions that you have that you're not using, right? It can be more intentional spending in some other areas with your groceries, with your fuel. So it's really about looking at what your priorities are and then starting there and putting the dollars towards that priority, putting the dollars towards that travel budget, and eliminating the ones that distract you from it.
Any other thoughts on that?
I think it kind of mirrors what Misty just said. Is like when I'm doing that, I always say, okay, what are the things that make this travel relevant to what I'm trying to accomplish? And then if there's extra, we can add extra things into it. But ultimately, all of my travel is around business. And we even do our vacations are wrapped up with business travel because everything is something that enhances that. So we never look at our travel budget as an expense, but as an investment in our business and in our
Ooh,
lives. So
okay.
ask yourself, what is the return in my life for this aspect of the budget? And if you don't have an ROI, if you're not getting something beneficial out of it, then don't put it in your budget.
Real
And I
quick
would
on
say
that. So let's. Oh, go ahead, Misty. Real quick.
I would say that I try to help people understand too, like if the week you're going to go on vacation, take your food budget and move that over to travel so that you can combine areas that you would actually have been spending money anyway. And if beforehand you can not eat out so you can beef up that budget a bit, like look at ways where you can take from other allotment and other classifications in your financial budget that you look at and be able to expand your travel opportunities, and do so with the idea that you can create the experience if you're willing to look outside the box. Maybe not eat 3 times a day, maybe do 2 times a day, and then maybe you're able to spend a little bit more on certain type of restaurants or things like that to have the experience and enjoy the ethnicity of the food in the area that you're exploring.
Yeah, and to piggyback on Chad, you said something about make sure it's an investment. Think of it as an investment. So I wanted to clarify. An investment doesn't always have to be financial. You can spend money on travel, and it can be your social health investment or your mental health investment. In your ROI, also known as your ROE, your return on your energy going out, and how much travel is, how much are you getting back? And hopefully that's going to be positive, unless your trip is a disaster. And you may be spending financial, but you're improving your mental, improving your probably your intellectual if you're learning a language or a culture, learning your social if you're meeting people. So your ROI doesn't have to be, am I putting money in and I'm doing this to get out? While that may be possible, it's also just getting a return on that energy you spend in other aspects of your life. I'm going to put another question up. It's somewhat similar, but you guys can add a little bit if you have there. Should travel be prioritized over other discretionary expenses in a financial plan?
Yes.
Ooh. We all say yes. Obviously, we're on a travel episode. Let's get one 10-second answer of why the answer is yes. Go, Misty.
Because you're going to have way more, as we were talking about, return on investment and return on energy, the fulfillment that you're going to get from these experiences and the expansion that you're going to get in your mindset, your heart set, it invigorates you. It gives you purpose and meaning to life, and not just to stay in your own little area. So skip getting your hair done, skip getting the nails done, do something different, skip the movies, put that money to a travel budget, and go have and make those memories and take pictures.
Which will, in the end, improve your financial health with your social skills, your intellectual skills, and a better mental health. There, that's how we relate it back to finances. Oh man, we got okay. Nah, Misty, Misty, I can't skip food. I travel for food. All right.
Well, I didn't say skip food. I should clarify what I said was take the budget that you would normally have for groceries and add it to your travel so you can experience
There you
more
go.
indulgement of food.
Or travel somewhere with cheap food. Go to Bangkok or Philippines, and then you get 10 times as much food. Sarah living her dream. Damn. Hey, Abel, you should go follow her on Facebook and watch her dream be living. Sarah, what's one thing you could do to improve your dream?
Oh boy. I think
Actually, Sarah, you also have to answer this question at the same time.
okay.
Sarah, how do you maintain financial health while traveling long term?
Yeah, this is really important. This comes down to spending our dollars on things that really bring value to our life. And so we eliminated the things that don't bring value, right? So, top priority for us are traveling. So, what are the expenses that we need to travel? We want to make sure that we've got fuel costs set aside. We want to make sure we've got health insurance. We want to make sure that we've got, groceries and all the normal day to day living stuff. But we don't then buy a lot of clothes. We don't buy a lot of souvenirs. We don't have a ton of subscriptions. We don't go out to eat a lot because that's not where the value comes in for us. The value comes into making sure that we have the money set aside to continue living this lifestyle for as long as we want. And we're just over 3 years now and have no plans to stop. So it's about intentional living and knowing where we want to spend our dollars. And it's also about learning how to be creative with making money too, right? It's not always about intentional with spending. It's about creating money as we go along. So
All right, guys, it's getting to be that time of the show. We got to wrap this up, and we have to do something very, very important. It is our daily challenge. We need to come up with a task or a series of tasks to help improve our financial health with travel. This task must take less than 5 minutes a day, cost $0, and be available to anyone in the world from Kathmandu to Hiroshima. What are your thoughts?
Every single day, sit down with a notepad at the beginning of the day and write out exactly what you would like to experience in your life. And then find one place that would help you to fulfill that experience. It'll allow you to dream bigger, to see beyond your current situation, and to see what's possible. When you do that, it
All right.
opens you up to seeing different opportunities.
Okay. Any thoughts on that, Misty or Sarah?
I think making a list of 10, 25 places that you want to see in your life and being able to start learning about where to hike over there, where to go sightsee, what are the do's, what are the don'ts, follow people who've been there, ask questions. Doesn't cost any money to read reviews or jump on any kind of critic forum to be able to learn about the area that you actually want to go. Being intentional to seek out the things that you want to do will actually help you enjoy them and get the full meaning and purpose out of the experience versus just randomly going through your Airbnb app and picking an Airbnb that shows up as a popular place.
I like that. That's good. I like that research idea. We can play with that. That's good, Misty. Sarah, you got any thoughts?
yeah,
What
I
do you
think
think
go
about
through
that?
your current. Yeah, I think both of them are great. I would also add, something that we can all do is go through your current spending. And even if it's $1 eliminated out of one area to put towards your travel budget, right? So you're not spending any money. You're taking a few minutes looking at your current spending. And instead of spending X amount of dollars, pick it $1, $5 in one area, you transfer that and put it in your travel fund.
Okay. All right. So hearing those, Chad, what do you think the daily challenge should be?
I think the daily challenge should literally be to find one place that we'd like to go, find one unique thing about that thing that we didn't know before, and then determine to find one way to set $1 aside out of the budget that day for that task.
All
And that
right. I like
becomes a
that.
goal.
So, all right. So, like Misty said, come up with a few places. We have a week. So pick a, pick a destination and an activity. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So somehow we got to think of a way, something you can shave off that day. So maybe you skip coffee. Maybe you you eat a yogurt instead of a full breakfast sandwich or something like that. So shave off a few bucks a day with the intention of that travel activity. Okay, so first we gotta figure out where the hell
Austin,
we're going, right?
if you
Yeah.
try to shave off $10 a day, you're talking $3,650 a year that you could put towards
Right.
travel. So find in a week or a month $300 that you can cut, that you would be willing to sacrifice to let go of, like I used, because I don't do it. So it's easy for me to say, I don't get my hair dyed and I don't get my nails done. So if you are one that does that, cut that in a given month so that you can do something. And if you do that for 12 months, that's $3,650.
Sorry, I'm typing. All right, so we're gonna pick somewhere you want to travel, right? We all agree that's probably a good idea. Then we're gonna find an activity that we want to do there. So, for instance, St. Thomas. I want to go scuba diving in St. Thomas. Great. So now I'm gonna also research one of the. I put best value, but really it's gonna be cheapest while not losing the quality that you want. So the best value option. So if I go through the cruise ships, it's gonna be like $350. If I go through one like TripAdvisor, it's probably like $180. If you go through me, it's like $40. But so it's gonna be try to figure out the best way to do that, and then we're gonna figure out a way to shave a few bucks. I'm not gonna put a set number, but the goal is to get that in your head. Like, hey, I don't need that. I don't need that latte. I can drink a regular coffee. I want to scuba dive in St. Thomas. Does that make sense? That's kind of the goal, right? Like,
Yes.
put that activity in your head and build it into your financial plan.
And I would say
Love
if you can't pick a place, then start making a list of all the places that intrigue you or people that you've seen have gone somewhere, and then figure out which one of those places you really want to go. If it's too hard to pick a place, make a list of all the places that intrigue you, and then go from there at picking which one you can do.
But also don't spend 3 hours on TikTok searching all the coolest places and videos out there.
Good advice.
All right, guys. We have our daily challenge. Thank you all so much. We're gonna wrap up this show. I'll drink less Starbucks now so I can enjoy another one in an hour. Is that valid? Oh my gosh, your question does not get a response, Luna. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna put y'all backstage. Thank you all again for watching Millionaires Are Made. This episode was on financial health and travel. Hopefully you learned quite a bit on how to travel a little bit cheaper or how to get a nice return on your energy or return on investment if you do travel. Our daily challenge every day. Please join us. We'd love to see your thoughts. Pick your top place to go travel. Pick an activity there. If you have tons of places you want to travel, every day you can do a new place you want to travel to and a new activity. But do a little bit of research. Don't just go on TripAdvisor and spend the ridiculously marketed high prices on that activity. Do a little research, find a little value, and then we're going to think of a way we can shave a couple bucks off that day with that activity in mind. Whew, sounds like a fun one. And with that, we've done everything we came to do. We have a daily challenge. We gave you 3 awesome tips.